between me and this 53-year-old dude, because he had only took me out to eat once, and then he started to tell me when was he and I going to make love. He would ask me that all the time. He would love for me to get in the car. Well, he drove a truck at this time. He would love for me to take rides with him. I think we kissed once or twice. But he used to always ask me. He asked me about 20 times when was he and I gonna make love. He and I would talk on the phone. He took me out to eat another time at a Chinese restaurant, everything, but I didn't really take him serious in my mind. I mean, my 27-year-old mind was not the mind that I have now. I was very mean-spirited back then, and kind of didn't give a shit about a lot of things because I was mad because the man who I wanted to be with didn't treat me right, and then I had to settle for somebody who was basically a grandpa. It was my decision to get with him, whether he was older than me or not. So once he and I was sitting in the car after he had took me, it was summertime, he had took me to get an icy from Coney Island. He was like, I'm gonna ask you again because I keep asking you this and you never give me a straight answer. And I'm like, okay, what you have to ask me, man? That's what I said. He's like, when are we gonna make love? So at the time, I told him straight up. I said, let me tell you something about me. Just because you took me to the restaurant and you paid for everything and and everything, but you're not like any other guy that I've ever dated. This is my first relationship. Being in a relationship with someone like you, who's older than me, which age don't matter. That's what I told him at the time. But I said, and tell you something about me. If you really want to make love, if you want us to make love, you're going to have to do something for me. He's like, what's that? I'm like, you're going to have to, what that mouth do? You're going to have to use that tongue. He'll look at me crazy. He's like, he almost choked on his slushy. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, it's like that? I'm like, hell yeah, it's like that. I'm like, and I don't just want you to do it for 30 minutes. I want an hour, maybe 2 hours of you giving me the tongue, and I want it every night. He's like, as much as I want to make love with you, I might just do that, but why are you telling me this like you're Whitney Houston or somebody, or like you're somebody famous? Like, me going down on a female, that's not really my style. That's really not something that I do. I'm like, well, you better start learning how to do it. You need to watch some X-rated movies or something, because that's what I want. If you can't do that for me, if you can't eat the apple pie, you will not be getting a chance to make love to me, period. He's like, something, you kind of mean-spirited. I'm like, I know. But he's like, I can't believe you telling me this. I say, I'm telling you this because this is what it is. Now, are you willing to use that tongue? Is what I said. He's like, I gotta think about it because uh, I've done it long time ago when I was in my 20s, and for you to expect me to do that to you and everything, and then I know you been in an intimate relationship with my best friend, because he told me that you and him had a bunch of sex, and I'm like, when have you and him had a talk about me and his sexcapades, and what the fuck he doing telling you about me and him? He's like, well, that's my friend, and we gonna talk, and he did tell me about some of y'all escapades. I mean, some of y'all sexual escapades. I'm like, well, he didn't have no business telling you that shit. But I said, then he gonna say, well, did you ever make him eat the pie when he was with you? I'm like, I didn't have to make him eat the pie. He volunteered to eat it, which is why I don't understand why you have a problem with what I'm asking you to do. And it's like I'm telling you, if you don't want to use that tongue, nothing is going to happen. There will be no sex. You will get a hug and maybe a kiss on the jaw, and that will be the nature of our relationship. At the time, like, I was very young in my 20s. I really didn't give a fuck about how he felt. And, I just wanted what I wanted. And I wanted him to, like, prove to me that he really wanted me like this. He didn't want to. She basically told me that, he really don't do oral like that. But he said he'll try. But it never did happen. He kept on asking me that me and his little dating situation only lasted a month because he did not want to do that for me. So then, and I know some of you viewers listening to me like, what the fuck? But this actually happened. This actually is a very true story, as I remember it like it was yesterday, because like, he would ask me all the time, when we gonna make love? When are we gonna make love? And I told him straight up, we not making love unless you can do that for me. If you can't use that tongue, then basically it's over. But I'm about to end this video. I hope you viewers enjoyed this story time. It's a very true story, and until then, y'all stay blessed.